You know, much like my father used to say, I should be used to disappointment by now. I have conquered Lendal, or so I thought. Impenetrable thorns bar the way to the Great Erd Tree where my final challenge awaits me. The only guidance given to me suggests I need to head east along the Forbidden Lands towards the fabled mountaintops of the Giants. Or, do you remember when I killed Radahn, the hulking giant that looks like a whale sat on top of a Roomba? Well, there was something else that happened there too that I forgot to mention. Old Radahn wasn't gifted the title of Starscourge for nothing. Radahn is one of the 3 children of Radagon, a father who said he only needed to duck out for a bottle of milk and never returned, and Rennala, yes, the MILF, and his siblings are Rykard, a man who made a deal with the devil until he discovered his obsession with Vor, and Ranni The Witch, who actually died but has inhabited a uniquely looking corpse that has 4 hands. 4 times the fun, am I right? Radahn grew to be enormously large and as a result learned gravity magic so he can continue riding his horse Leonard around without crushing him into a fine paste because, well, look at him. Okay, but what's the point of all this? You see, this allowed him to challenge the stars, whatever that exactly means, and well, what I'm getting at is he was holding a bunch of fucking rocks from hitting the ground. With a thunderous crash, a new mark has been made on the map and Ranni wants me to explore it. I trace my way back to Limgrave to discover the Forest of Mistwood is filled with irony. And now a large hole about the size of your mum's torrent, my horse, carries me swiftly to the bottom whereupon I discover Nokron, the eternal city, and suddenly the mystery intensifies. While the background is beautiful, the inhabitants are questionable at best, and seek to impede my every move, including myself. Does this technically count as suicide? Welcome to the upper area of Sophie's River, where the grass is green, the wildlife are wild, and my hopes and dreams are dashed at a moment's notice. After a small amount of fumbling about, I find the hidden entrance to the fabled city of Nokron and begin my descent over the rooftops to the streets below where I find... What the fuck? The atmosphere of Nokron is one of disturbing beauty, with a soothing blue hue overhead. The mystery continues and I question what Ranni has sent me here to retrieve on her behalf. Statues with horrified expressions, lumps of silver blobs that turn into much larger health bars to deal with, and a massive corpse on a throne that is disturbing. As much as I want to fluff on about the city and the haunting feeling it leaves, I find the item I was sent to obtain. It's all coming together now. I return to Ranni and she leaves me to begin whatever her master plan is and gifts me an upside down statue. What now? Luckily I know where to place a strange object and I head to the Carian study hall, slap that bad boy on the counter, and suddenly my world gets flipped, twisted, turned upside down. Traversing it is... difficult. Actually, it's not when you use your brain and realize there's a path straight ahead, where many fingers will immediately violate you. You never know until you try. And the platforming begins with a pesky mage who never learnt the fine manners of how to go fuck off. Upon reaching the bottom, or top, wait, how does this work? I make my way through a large door that opens onto a very lengthy bridge, and find myself experimenting with Pumbaa if you'd instead grown a lizard tail and love wearing the skin of the enemies he's killed. Yeah, that's not sustainably sourced cotton he's wearing there, sorry. After a painful fight, a few deaths, and a brief moment of... he goes down, and my will to live goes up. Atop the divine tower in front of me is a curse mark of death, Stargazer heirloom that is worthless to me because fuck mages, and Ranni's original body of course. I'ma just leave that there with you. Looping back, I find the tower next to Ranni's has lifted the seal, and I find a portal at the top. Welcome to Ansel River, Maine, and now I have absolutely no idea where the hell I'm at now. However, finding a miniature Ranni statue, I decide to pester it several times like a nagging ex-boyfriend, and before you know it, she breaks the silence.
Oh, a dogged fellow, aren't we?
You see, she does this cute thing where she talks down to me and I just brush it off. I get tasked with killing some baleful shadows, whatever they are, and set off to fulfill my task. However, she never mentioned anything about the large centipede, dragonfly, old Peter Griffin bullchin looking thing who was having none of my walking about freely minding my own business thing that I was happily doing. And instead, he decides to sling rocks at me with a side of nom nom nom. Luckily, a small, medium, okay, kinda large sword stabbed into the side of his head lets him come down with a mild case of dead, before his companions decide they too need me to introduce him to the wonderful world of not right now, you little shits. It doesn't take long for me to find the chap I'm looking for, and even less time for him to send me straight back to where I came from. The second time is much smoother, and he hits the floor like the Christmas charts in January, and Ranni offers her thanks, bids her farewell, and I receive a discarded palace key which can be used on a chest back in Rennala's room. I wonder if I should feel bad for leaving her here. And I obtain a Dark Moon ring. Back into the depths of Ansel River, and I keep pushing forward, through caverns literally filled with piles of corpses. Oh, you think this is bad? Oh, just wait, just wait. Coming out on the other side, a red hue falls across the caverns, and the feeling of dread washes over me. Welcome to the... What the fuck? This is the Lake of Rot, and yes, it is as putrid as what you're thinking. Walking into the, can I call this water, sludge, homunculaba excretion? Scarlet Rot affliction builds up immediately. Once the bar fills, it starts rapidly depleting your health, so there's only one thing to do. After wading through this miserable liquid and defeating this other prick who kept knocking me back into the rot, I reach the other side, trail down some stairs, and find literal hell. Jokes aside, absolutely fuck those guys. With seemingly no other option forward, I take the only option. I ride a casket to an early grave. Somehow, life always finds a way to disappoint, and instead I'm safe and alive at the bottom, whereupon I meet an old friend. Once he's dispatched, for the last time surely, I find another elevator. And I have found the fabled Moonlight Altar. There is a point to this, I'm not just taking you on a ride for nothing, I swear. The bouncer doesn't take to my attitude too well, and I teach him some manners by smacking him around a little bit. Note of advice, I don't suggest trying this at the local bar, the results may vary. Once a doorkeeper finds a new place of work, more platforming follows until I discover...
What the fuck?
If you're ever wondering what was under Ranni's clothes, you sick fuck, then I hope all that string ruins your thoughts forever. Back on topic, I slip the Dark Moon ring onto Ranni's finger, she accepts me as her lord, and then goes to the night sky. This is how marriage works, right? And like that, she dissolves into the night, and with this end tied up, it's time to go north.